Here's another question. What learning and teaching resources can I use and where do I find them?
Resources are a valuable commodity, especially when you're teaching how to compete in Cyber Patriot. The number one answer is always Google, especially for the team members when they're in competition. Google what you're looking for specifically. The number one thing you're looking for is, what I look for are the actual documents for an operating system or documents on a specific thing that the team is trying to achieve. Now, in my case, I work in industry, I have the books. I take my books with me to the competitions for the students to use. If a coach or a team has a sponsor that has provided books, they can use those books. If you need a bare bones checklist because you're a new team and you're trying to create structure for your teams to follow during that 6-hour period in the competition, if you Google Cyber Patriot checklist, checklists are out there for you to use. Now, what I would do as the coach was to go through the checklist, make sure, one, that they still work, but you can make alterations to that checklist, make it your own team's checklist. But it gives you a better idea of how the students need to go through a practice. Checklists are essential to the competition. Another resource that you can look for is the Facebook page and group for coaches and mentors. There's a private group. If you just search Cyber Patriot Coaches and Mentors, it pops up immediately in the search bar. That is a network of coaches around the country that help each other with resources. Hey, does anybody have a book on Linux? Hey, does anybody have a book on sysinternals? Does anybody know where I can find information on this to help my team? And the coaches that are there and the mentors that are there answer almost immediately, especially during competition season. Another good resource is looking for practice images. There are practice images out there all over the place. If you just look for a Cyber Patriot practice image, the coach or technical mentor download the image at their house, make sure it isn't full of anything crazy, and then run the image there at your house to make sure it works. And if it works and it has a scoring engine, or if you have the answer sheet there, make sure all the answers are there. Take that image and give it to your team at the next practice and let them use it. But the images and everything are out there. You just have to search for them. Search specifically for what you're looking for. If your team sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, if I understand correctly, sometimes corporations like Microsoft and Linux also are willing to provide documentation. Is that correct?
That is correct. If here in San Antonio, we have a Microsoft campus in the area. And my Hondo team, we contacted Microsoft themselves and said, we are a Cyber Patriot team. Here's our overall goal for the students. And here's what we're trying to do to help give back to the cyber security industry. We wrote up some paperwork, sent it in. We got an email back saying, well, what books do you want? And they gave us a stack of books for free because they are giving back to the community. The same thing could apply for Cisco. Whatever you don't find out there on Cisco Net ACAD, if you can email them, maybe they will give you some free CCENT books and CCNA books for you to use. And maybe even some labs, practice labs.
I'd also like to remind you that the Cyber Texas Foundation, on our mentors and coaches tab at our website, we have a variety of videos and other information that can be helpful to coaches, especially starting coaches and mentors, and help them understand some of the things that are out there for them.
Another thing I'll bring up, Reddit has a page for Cyber Patriot. They also post videos on how to do things on that Reddit thread. YouTube, they have tutorials on YouTube on how to perform a image for the Cyber Patriot competition, where they run through a checklist or they have built an image themselves that is similar to one they would see in a competition. And they talk through all the steps of what they're doing in the video. There is a video out there that I found last year for my Cisco students where a coach was running a camp, and he built a network lab, and he ran it as a simulation just like they did for a competition, and he stepped through everything step by step through the scenario, what he would do, how he does it, take notes on the commands and everything. So videos, soft copies of books, contact companies, contact Cyber Texas Foundation. The information is out there. You just have to search for what you need. Or contact another coach in your area that you know. They might be able to share some of their resources as well.
And I'd want to remind people again that if you want to get those resources, you want to get more information on it, simply send an email to mentors@cybertexas.org, and we'll try to steer you in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you.